Talk up you.
So we come to know these youths and show these youths. Talk up yourself, the youths to know them roots. Nurture them, protect and love and hear these youths. Music make them know I love we show these youths.
To save the youth, not kill the youth.
Talk Up Youth encourages all youth to find tangible solutions for their issues.
Season 6, the best of past seasons, the interview, the panel discussion, and dub poetry by Stepper.
Are you ready for today's show? Today's topic is...
The bill we come for build the youth in action, Jamaica. We are build the youths there. Compute in Jamaica.
Blessings to all our young people watching right now. A recent study conducted by the Child Development Agency found that more than 60% of students have been bullied in their lifetime. Talk up, Romario Brown. How are you?
I'm doing fine, Em.
Excellent. You do look like you're doing fine. But I want you to share with us your story of being bullied, right? And also being a former bully.
First and foremost, being bullied is like, you know, I was like the shortest guy in the class, shortest guy in the football team. So, you know, males have very big egos and they try to use their ego against me because I'm a bit skillful, I'm a bold person as well, so they try to use it against me. So the issue got really annoying after a while. You know, calling me like various names.
Like what? What did they call you?
Like certain shorty names and versions of short names, which became very annoying after a while. So in 8th grade, it started a big fight with me and someone because I was trying to do something important and they were like behind me, teasing and taunting, and it became annoying. And there was, during the fight, I got so upset that I had this pen. It wasn't even, you know, the pen that you push the point. It wasn't, the point wasn't even out. And then I stabbed the guy and his khaki shirt ripped until it opened and all that. So at the end of the day, I was being reprimanded and punished and got all of the suspension, whatever, for being bullied. And I thought it was kind of unfair. So
you reacted violently. You were upset.
Yeah, I was upset.
Tell us some of the other feelings you went through while being bullied.
Well,
and reaching the boiling point.
I was always proud of myself, so most of the times I didn't really let it bother me because I even played basketball and played better than guys that were taller than me. And most times you had people come with certain jokes like, try to reach that up there, try to jump up there, and like, I know I could do it, but they were like trying to test me, but I didn't yield to certain tests because I was firm within myself.
How bad did it get? What was the worst point?
The worst point was actually the fight itself. And I think another time, me and someone had an altercation.
Okay. So what about you know being a bully?
Yes, so in return, you know, sometimes people let vengeance yield their rewards. And I became a bit vengeful, so I was sort of insulting towards people. I remember one time, very much in high school as well, there was this girl. And I was like, overall I was very insulting towards people. The slightest flaws I noticed he had because I realized it played on my emotions, so I was playing back on their emotions, you know, like chess. So I played back on this girl's emotions and lo and behold, she went home and was contemplating suicide.
Because you bullied her?
Yes, verbally as well. So a guidance counselor called me one day out of class and was talking to me about it and explaining to me that she was actually considering suicide and all that. And I started looking into myself and I was like, you know, I used to feel bad. And then I started making other people feel bad. And I was like, why don't just appreciate people for who they are and love people for who they are? And in turn, I guess other people appreciate me while I'm doing that. So I don't let any more of this thing offend me anymore. You know, I just be myself and accept other people for who they are because I could tease people that they are fat, I could tease people that they are ugly, I could tease people that they are black, all of these things. And then I just hold some prayer meditation or Rastafari. So I just started meds
and you changed your ways?
Changing my ways, basically.
What would you say if you could look at the audience right now, speak to the young people, what would you say to the bullies?
Well, whether you're physically, socially, or verbally bullying anyone, I don't think it is a good thing, because you should consider yourself in the place of that person, as well as that person's emotion and the way how they would react, and other things that might come into play with the rest of their lives that could affect them in the long run. So I don't think bullying is a good thing.
All right, you said it right. It's not a good thing. And to those who are feeling suicidal, depressed, because they're being bullied, one word of advice or one sentence of advice.
One sentence of advice: just appreciate yourself for who you are, love others, and in return, you will be loved. Don't bother watch anything that anyone wants to say about you, whether they want to disrespect your shoes or your clothes or the way you look. Just appreciate yourself and love yours. And in turn, other people will love you.
Yes, love you, and in turn, other people will love you. No matter watch what them say. Thank you so much, Romario. Bless up yourself. Yeah, man. It might be little, but the talawa, is it? But did I just make a short joke? That's not a short joke. All right, but thank you so much, Romario, for starting the narrative on a global problem. Let's get out of here so our other young people can join the conversation, highlight the issues, and propose their solutions.
Talk up, you.
Yeah, talk up. Let's go. Thank you again.
We have to build the youths there.
Compute in Jamaica.
Bullying kills, and I'm not talking about lives, I'm talking about confidence, self-esteem. Bullying kills futures. Bullying kills people. Bullying infuriates them, and that's not right.
Did you know bullying is actually a dysfunction in how we see and handle relationships? Not to mention the socio-economic factors that allow parents to feel as if they are above the law. This, to say the least, waters down on the children to feel like they're above any disciplinary measures put in by society, the community, even the schools. Now, that is the real issue.
My issue is that persons don't properly define what bullying is. Number one, it has to be harmful. There must be some form of imbalance in terms of power, repetition, and it must be deliberate or intentional. Another issue is that people don't understand that there are actually merits of bullying. Students who are bullied, they can become assertive, impressive, and they in turn know how to tolerate certain situations.
That's an interesting point, Kimberly. However, my issues with bullying in Jamaica is that it is not treated with enough significance. Personally, I believe Jamaicans to be very aggressive, and I believe bullying has become embedded into our DNA somewhat over time. And I say this because the matter isn't treated as seriously as it should be. It's taken very lightly, far too lightly. I personally have experienced bullying in the Jamaican school system, and I've never experienced it in the Canadian school system. Why? Because bullying is met with a zero tolerance policy in Canada. If you bully someone, depending on the case, you could be prosecuted, whereas in Jamaica, I've been told to toughen up, not to be so thin-skinned. And that is saying there's no repercussion to being a bully. And that is victim shaming. That's where you're saying, I'm going to address the victim, I'm not going to address the aggressor or the victor. And that's perpetuating the idea that bullying is okay.
My main issue with bullying in Jamaica at this point is with teacher to student bullying, because it really annoys me when persons who are supposed to hold positions of power and responsibility and authority in our society, they abuse this power and humiliate and overpower those who they're supposed to be caring for and assisting. And this happens a lot in our school system where, I mean, we can all think back to a time when we asked to use the bathroom and we were just bluntly told no. No reason, nothing, just no. I'm sure we can all think back to a time when we brought in an assignment, we worked really hard at it, or maybe we thought we did, and the teacher looks at our work like, what is this? And crush it up and bin. that kind of thing is unacceptable. There's another practice that is becoming more and more commonplace in schools as well, where students' bad grades are called out and teachers think this is somehow motivational. It is not. It tears down students' self-esteem. And that's really the main issue that I'm having right now with bullying in Jamaica.
Bullying is never okay. There can be no excuse for such an atrocity because of the impact that it has on the victim, which follows them into adulthood. I know what I'm talking about because I was a victim of bullying in both primary school and in high school. In primary school, it got physical, but in high school, it was more verbal because of the fear of punishment from the teachers. In primary school, I was assaulted by 5 boys who were in my class. We were in the 6th grade. I was assaulted for no other reason than the fact that I spoke differently and I focused more on school than actually going out and hanging out with all the other students. I was an introvert. Basically, after being assaulted by those boys, I reported it to my teacher. She completely dismissed it. She treated my feelings as invalid and said that I should forget about it. She said I was being weak and I should leave the boys alone. That is my issue with bullying. People in Jamaica treat it as if it's nothing. There's a lack of accountability. We need more of that. And I believe that the students who are being bullied to this day need to remember that people try to bring you down only when in their minds you are above them.
I really cannot believe that those issues are happening in our Jamaica. After the break, we'll definitely look into this some more.
I know I can depend on my barber to give me the perfect haircut every time. Respect is also due to my bus conductor. He ensures that I am not left behind and I get on board safely. It's good to see the police protecting and reassuring with courtesy. My journey through life is unfolding every day. I pledge my heart forever to serve Jamaica, our shining homeland, with pride.
Mommy had it really hard raising 3 kids on her own.
At 17 years old, I became a father.
I started baking because I wanted to make a little extra money to just go to school.
At the time, I had to use small-scale farming to support both myself and my daughter.
When the time came to pay for my C6 subjects, the scholarship from Cranwater, that was a blessing.
The scholarship was actually one of the greatest things that I could earn. I'm determined to be an inspiration for other young people.
Attention all children, youth and parents. Talk of Youth in association with National Baking Company, Cranwater and NCB presents the Talk of Youth Youth Edutainment Day. Saturday, October 29. It's going to be a fun day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the Randy Williams Center lawn on Hope Road, Kingston. Admission is free. Youth DJs, career counseling, resume bank and booth. Youth advocates, come out, games and rides, sexual and reproductive tents and HIV testing for free. Lots of giveaways and more. Hosted by me, Empress. Roll out with the family. All solutions are got dead. It's a fun environment. Talk of Youth. I'm a selfie. Talk of Youth.
While I agree with some of the points you raised, Kimberly, I have to disagree in a very big way with what you said about there being merits to bullying. There are absolutely no merits to bullying. Bullying is something that is subjective, and when I say that, I mean everyone is different, and how we accept and how we receive things is very different. Now, I didn't receive bullying as something that was good. I don't believe it was something that was good that happened to me. And I'm sure Sasha Gay would agree that it is not something that was good that happened to her. She's not strong because she was bullied. She's strong because of who she was, who she is, her internal strength. That's what makes me strong. That's why I'm here today. It's because I had to find the strength deep within me, and others, they have to look externally. They have to look to God. They have to look to friends. It has absolutely nothing to do with bullying having merits. There's no such thing. To me, that's some sort of oxymoron or whatever. There's no good to bullying.
She has a point, and I would love to know what are those merits, because being strong, that has, you can do that on your own. You can definitely look inside yourself and decide that, hey, I'm at this point in my life and I need to approach situations differently. So what are the merits to bullying, as you would say?
Well, Jordan, not everyone is intrinsically motivated, right? And being bullied, it allows you to look deep within yourself and say, okay, then what can I tolerate from what I can't tolerate, right? Some persons who are bullied, it changes their whole personality, their whole behavior. For example, if you were bullied because you were doing bad in school, look at that. That would motivate some persons to beat the books when they go home. So it basically pushes you to a limit or to an extent where you want to do more for yourself.
I feel like that's a part of building the self-concept and self-awareness in terms of looking into yourself. That has nothing to do with bullying. And quite frankly, like, you feel better when somebody pressure you or look down on you and stand up over you. That make you do anything other than leading to depression or a little bit of anxiety? Think about it.
Well, depression is only a stage. It doesn't last forever. I mean, I was failing out in school, right? And that forces me to be better than the perpetrator. So I said to myself, you know what? I am going to make it on profile, and I'm going to show her that what? No, I'm going to be above that. I'm going to make it despite whatever she had done to me.
I don't agree with you any at all.
Well, that's your opinion.
I think it's absolute stupidity. These on my hand is what bullies did to me. I cut myself because of it. And you're saying that because I'm supposed to be strong because I was bullied? That's stupid. I was strong because I overcame bullying, and I did not have to overcome it any at all. I could be dead right now. So you cannot tell me that bully is supposed to bully me because they're supposed to be leaders. So, I'm supposed to be your puppet, teach you how to be a leader?
There are too many nights that I've had to look myself in the eyes, staring in the mirror, tears down my face, convincing myself, don't do it, hold on. There are too many nights that I've had to do that. And I cannot accept your point that there are merits to bullying, because like Najee said, she could have not been here today. And I agree, I share the same sentiments. I could have not been here today. Same with her. What if the guys had killed her? Would she be able to share that same view as you?
I will be the devil's advocate. Kimberly, I have to partially agree with you. This is it. It is not the bullying that builds the person, but sometimes it is the effects of it. So that is why you have such a high suicide rate for persons who are bullied, because some of them, it has such an impact on them that they end up killing themselves. However, for me, it made me stronger. It made me smarter. I focused on school. I studied because I didn't have any friends, so I didn't really have anything else to do. And I'm a lawyer now because of it. I don't know what I would have been if I fit in with everyone and just did what everyone else was doing, had a boyfriend in high school, went dating, be normal. I don't know what I would be now if I had done that.
There's no way that I can agree with you, because suicide goes hand in hand with bullying. Bullying goes hand in hand with mental health. So there's no way I can say there are merits to it, because as good as I look right now, there's still things that I am suffering from because of bullying. I was bullied in primary school. I was bullied in high school just because I was different. I look different. I act different. I mean, I embrace it now, but back in high school, I wanted to die. I self-harmed. And there's no way I can agree with you.
That's exactly the point we're trying to make right now. Like, this is strictly negative. There's no positivity to this. And the fact is, even as a bully, 60% of these bullies end up being convicted of a criminal offense by 24.
Well, I'm not gonna, look like the bad person. Everything I do empathize that all of you are victims of bullying, right? But what if we divert it from the victim to the victimizer, right? Persons who bully, there's absolutely something wrong with them. They have mental issues, they are being abused at home, and this is how they cry out to the public. So if we're more observant, then we would actually not look at them as like, okay, they're the bad kid, they're the troublemakers. We would actually find out what is the root of the problem. Why is it that him or her are behaving like that?
I see the merit in what Kim is saying to some extent, because the truth is that many bullies have been bullied themselves, and it is a means of lashing out and expressing what they're going through. There's no excuse for it, no. But what we need to look into is what can we do to be a solace to these bullies so that they don't feel that they need to lash out in this kind of way? That is what we need to start looking at.
I want to bring up something now that with the advent of technology, I'm seeing this more and more. And the other day, a child told me the term that she coined it as the unseen bullies, the professional bullies, the bullies that come in a suit, the teachers. Because I know some teachers ostracize students, and that in itself is bullying. They pay more attention to certain students. They say derogatory terms to others. And because of the money some students have or how they look, they are treated better. And that in itself is bullying. And the cyberbullying, which is happening more and more in Jamaica now, as you see that even the other day, the pictures they share, some pictures that are shared on Facebook where they have a picture and they say, describe this picture in 3 words, and it's somebody there, because it happens to somebody I knew where they were put on a picture and they said, does she look like a monkey, yes or no? And it got so much shares and it affected her. So how about we go into that? You know, who else thinks that this is a big problem?
I have to agree with you on both. I personally experienced bullying from teachers as well. Part of the reason I didn't graduate high school, I went to the St. Jago High School, but I didn't graduate. And part of that was because I was bullied by a teacher. And the thing is, there's nothing set in place to protect the students here in Jamaica. Teachers are mostly protected, and unless you're this child of a teacher, then you have no protection. And I've learned that. And I was denied the right to use the bathroom. I was denied the right to say things, and I'm somebody, I don't fold. So when she said, no, you can't use the bathroom, I said, well, you can't tell me that, and I left. And from there, it was a lot of problems. And I think part of that reason was that I didn't have parents who would stand up for me. I didn't have parents who would say, I had the parents who would say, look, you are the teacher, run things and beat them if you have to, or box them down. And that's my father, that's my parents. They didn't stand up to say, listen, it's my child, she's a human being, she has rights as well. And so I've experienced the bullying from the teachers, and I've experienced the cyberbullying as well, with the same body shaming or whatever. Just being different in general and people just not liking you for it, and being quite rude, and they have negative intent. So I definitely agree with you on that.
I must say, when it comes to the teachers bullying students, I don't think it is as common as some of you are trying to let on, because the fact is the teachers have a very difficult job. A lot of these students are very disrespectful, and they have to be assertive in how they conduct their jobs. Yes, you have some students who are a little bit more sensitive than others. Yes, you will have the minority of teachers who might overstep their boundaries a little bit. But I do think that for the most part, the teachers are just trying to be assertive. They're trying to let people know that they're in charge, because this generation is not the easiest generation to deal with. So they have to put in that little extra work, and I don't think it's bullying at all.
No, Sasha, I don't agree. No. There's a difference between assertiveness and just being mean.
And the truth is that many teachers do it, not a small not a minority. Many teachers do it, and the truth is that I'm sure almost all of us here can relate to a point in time when we have asked to use the bathroom and we've been told no reason in particular.
How is that bullying for telling you can't use the bathroom?
That's just absolutely unacceptable. If you need to use the bathroom, you need to use the bathroom.
Your teacher can say no. They're the authority.
No.
In my situation, at the time, I was just coming from the doctor. Look, I am a student. I don't ask anything because I know my luck. So I don't ask anything. And I was having what they call UTI. And I explained to her, I went up to her, I said, Miss, I'm having a problem. Okay, I went to the doctor, I have a UTI. Usually I never raise my hand in your class, but right now I'm asking you. Because what happened was the bell rang, and it was a mistake. So everybody was getting up thinking that they could leave the class. And she was like, where are you going? The time is like whatever. And I said, she's like, sit back, sit down. I'm like, okay, everybody's going to their seat. And I ran to her and I said, look, I understand that the class isn't over. However, I really need to use the bathroom. I've been holding this for about 2 hours because I didn't want to ask. And I'm just asking you right now, since I'm having this problem, to let me use the bathroom. And she's like, Miss, sit. So I'm like, please, I am begging you. I literally begged her. I said, Miss, I'm begging you, please. She said no. What did you expect me to do then?
I think we're confusing me.
That is no.
Bullying.
This teacher was a bully. She bullied the student.
no,
I'm telling you, this teacher said, she came into class, the first thing she said, look, every class I go into, I choose a girl to pick on. She said that. She didn't hide
well,
it.
she's one of the minorities.
No, that's not a minority. My mother is a teacher. My brother is a teacher. So it's not like I'm trying to pick on teachers. I have close experience with teachers, but I'm telling you, you have teachers who pick on students. I was a friend of, like, those teachers, they're friends and they discuss things. And you see, the one incident led to the whole school turning on me.
Earlier on, I stated that bullying can be misinterpreted, and this here is a perfect example. Is it harmful? Is it intentional? Is it repetitive? Or is it deliberate? We need to look at that before we can rule it out as bullying.
I answered yes to all those questions. It is deliberate because the teachers continue to do it. It is repetitive, like I just explained, and it is harmful. As Deja just mentioned, she had a UTI and the teacher still wouldn't understand. I mean, that wasn't explained, but the fact is it's common knowledge right now that preventing someone from using the bathroom or holding up your urine can cause health problems.
And that is not instilling values, it's just abuse of power.
Right. That's not instilling any values. And please explain to me how it is that you calling a child dunce right in front of all the other students in the class. How is that instilling any kind of value? Many teachers do this.
Not the majority,
teachers,
though.
you bring in your work, and I mean, this happens especially to younger students. You bring in your assignments, they crush it up in front of the class, they throw it away. What is that for? What value is that instilling? That is overstepping the boundary, and it happens time and time again where teachers overstep their boundaries and it causes the students harm. It is bullying.
Good point, and I feel like it becomes harmful after the first instance of you saying that, hey, I think you're abusing your power, and hey, I don't really feel right, and they continue to do it. That's when it becomes harmful. Even if it was, at first it was just, listen, you need to stay in the class right now, the bell didn't ring yet. After that point, it becomes harmful. Because, I mean, I've been in situations where other people were treated differently than I was treated, in terms of if you do tracks or if you do football, you get a different treatment from the whole student body. And if your parents were like some high positions or maybe on the school board, you know, funding little activities at the school, you definitely get different treatment as well. So based on what I said earlier, where bullying is a dysfunction in the relationship, you have to remember that this relationship, the socialization to how a relationship works, starts at home. So if they see that their parents are abusing their power or maybe living like above the law and stuff, they can drive through stoplights and just call their friend and say, hey, listen, yeah, I get stopped right here, talk to this person, boom, no ticket, everything good. You understand that? So when they see that, they come to school with the same mentality. You understand? They call their parents and say, mommy, guess what? Something happened, I think, and I say, all right, give him the phone. Hey, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. All right, then, man, no, everything good, man, everything good. And that's it. You understand? These privileged youths or whatever, they really take advantage of that power. Because I am vulnerable in that situation. And they are up here. And I'm up here. I'm down here. So imagine, okay, I went to, I guess, a middle class school because honestly, Woolmans is a mixing pot for every type of people. But imagine if I went to Campion, right? And you have to admit, Campion has a lot of high-profile people. So imagine if I went to Campion as a humbled, maybe an inner city youth or whatever. Like, there's no way I could survive. I have no say in anything that's going on right there.
I strongly agree with you. And we were talking earlier about what causes bullying. I think classism. And in my high school, I went to an all-girls school. That was so prevalent. There was a social hierarchy in the school all by itself. The rich against the poor, the black against the white, the long hair against the short hair, the pretty girls against the not so pretty girls, as they would say it. And that led to bullying. That led to me getting bullied. The skinny against the fat. I was called fat. I was called ugly. I was called everything in the book. And I felt out of place because of this social hierarchy that was set up within the schools. And I think we need to tackle that. We need to tackle this classism that some students feel like they're better than other students. No one is better than anybody. We all came here for the same opportunities, and we should be treated in the same way.
There's a flip to that, though, because I remember being bullied by one of my classmates because my mother is somebody who is big on saving money, but she's also big on saving the environment as well. And I followed suit. So we decided to go with recycled books instead of, because you know you cut down trees to make paper. So we decided to go with recycled books. And I remember one of my classmates belittling me and putting me on a spot, so to speak, saying, "Oh, I thought you were rich. Oh, you only act like you're rich and you use a recycled book." And he took my book and he tore it up. So there's a flip to it. I think we can't just generalize it and say, well, bullying happens because of this. I just think bullying is wrong, but we'll come back and we'll find our solutions, so stay tuned.
We have to build the youths there. Commute in Jamaica.
It's a new day, filled with new challenges and possibilities. It's another opportunity for us to be the best that we can be. Now is the time to work diligently and creatively with true respect for all. Now is the time to think honestly, serve faithfully, and respond to duty's call.
Let's keep it clean today.
Mommy had it really hard raising 3 kids on her own.
At 17 years old, I became a father.
I started baking because I wanted to make a little extra money to just go to school.
At the time, I had to use small-scale farming to support both myself and my daughter.
When the time came to pay for my C6 subjects, the scholarship from Cranwater, that was a blessing.
The scholarship was actually one of the greatest things that I could earn.
It's very important to pursue education and to strive towards greatness.
Attention all children, youth and parents. Talkapute in association with National Baking Company, Cranwater and NCB presents the Talkapute Youth Edutainment Day. Saturday, October 29. It's going to be a fun day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the Ranny Williams Center lawn on Hope Road, Kingston. Admission is free. Youth DJs, career counseling, resume bank and booth. Youth advocates, come out, games and rides. Sexual and reproductive tents and HIV testing for free. Lots of giveaways and more. Hosted by me, Empress. Roll out with the family. All solutions I got dead. It's a fun environment. Talkapute. Myself, Talkapute.
Welcome back. My solution in relation to the issue of teacher-to-student bullying is that more counseling needs to be done in the schools, not only for students but for teachers as well, because teachers also need counseling and guidance just like the students. Right now we have guidance counselors in almost every school, but they're not available for the teachers. It's the students that benefit, and the truth is that many teachers come into the classroom and unload their problems right in the students' laps. So we need to have more counseling for teachers, and also more investigation needs to be done in the classrooms, because what we have now in Jamaica is a situation where many parents, they don't take the interest and they don't care, and if their child even comes home complaining, as Daisha was saying, they brush the issue aside and they say, well, the teacher must know what them I do, and that we can't have that attitude in the homes. And so I think the Ministry of Education needs to step in and do more investigation.
I believe that Jamaica needs to adopt the same zero tolerance policy like so many countries like Canada have done before. In Canada, teachers aren't sure of a job the next term, and that is important. They know that they don't have a job if they don't do their jobs right, if they don't treat the students with respect, they don't teach the children like they're supposed to, they don't invest their times into the students, they won't have a job come the next semester. And I think that's important. Here in Jamaica, they think I always have a job. You know, I'll get paid. I've heard teachers say it before, I'm getting my pay whether or not you learn. So you don't have to learn. And teachers, they do whatever they want. There's no accountability. They don't have to answer to anybody. They know they have a job. So when we adopt that same zero tolerance policy towards bullying, they know there's no excuse. There's no, I'm sorry. There's no forgiveness. There's no, okay, don't do it again. It's you bullied a student, that's not right. It can have negative repercussions. As well, I don't believe there can be change in a country without, there can be no reform in a country until we have legal reform. So until there are laws set in place to prevent these sort of things, especially cyberbullying, I don't think it will ever change. No matter how many campaigns you have, you can keep campaigning all you want. That's just talk and a lot of money that's being wasted. Until we change the laws and people pay for what they have done, Yes, the law can be understanding. Should you say, well, you know, your lawyer explained that, oh, this person has been through this and whatever. The judge can be understanding, but if it's a case where you're going out of your way to cyberbully somebody or you're bullying people, you should pay. And I think we need to have some legal reform. The youth can change the law. The youth can change the law. I believe shows like this are good. We can do more than just talk about it. Where all of us are above 18, we can vote. We can bring these policies to our politicians, and even more than that, I'm sure we can petition and do more. I think until we raise enough awareness first, mental issue has become quite prominent, and a lot of people have been turning to suicide. So I think change is very close by. Sadly, people have to die for reform sometimes, but change is close.
I'm still going to stick it out with the fact that bullying does have its merits. And let me talk to the youths of Jamaica, right? If you're a victim of bullying, try to, look into the positivity of it. It will allow you to be a better person. For example, I read on the internet that a particular Olympian, now she was bullied. Yes, bullying will never stop. But what she did, she diverted, she put that sadness, instead of killing herself, that depression, into wrestling. And now she's awesome. For the victimizer, the bully, instead of, if you were bullied or you're having problems at home, why not exert that energy into something else, like probably becoming a leader, because it leads you to be more authoritative, and that will allow you to be like probably a narcissistic leader who, is like overpowering and whatever. But you can look at it from a positive point of view. So just go on hold and meds and bother with the suicidal thing, and just accept that bullying is reality, but just try to cope with it.
Well, though I completely disagree with that, and you're definitely adding to the whole toughen up culture that we have here in Jamaica. My solution for the privileged youths that have become bullies is directly to the parents in terms of the relationship that is displayed within the household, and to actually be a part and be involved in their life, and to encourage them, well, not encourage, but to actually try and push them to see a life without you where you aren't around to save them, because you may not know it, but they are actually hiding behind your socio-economic status. They are hiding behind that, okay, my dad can do this, my mom can do this, and they're out there putting your name on the line, making you like a bad parent. And I'm pretty sure, I honestly believe that you guys aren't horrible parents. In the real world, privileged or not, no one can save you but yourself and how you interact with others. Because we have to admit it. We have to face the facts that one day mommy and daddy won't be there anymore.
We have the Leigh Antonia Foundation, we have the Jamaica Anti-Bullying Organization, and we do have people who talk against bullying, but that will never change anything. It needs to start from the youth themselves. Don't stand by and watch somebody getting bullied. Stand up and take the power away from the bullies. When you take the power away from them, they are weakened. Stand up for your fellow youths. You need to make the change. You need to be somebody that helps somebody else. You can prevent someone from committing suicide. You can prevent someone from ruining their futures. And what I have to say to the youths out there who are being bullied, don't you worry your pretty little mind. People throw rocks at things that shine. So you just shine. You find the confidence within you, shine your light and blind them. Let them stand from the sidewalk and watch you make it.
When I was being physically abused by those boys on the side of the road, there were cars driving past and people walking by. No one did anything. Like I told you earlier, I approached the teacher, she did nothing. I spoke to my parents, they did nothing. That cannot continue to happen. For bullying to end, everyone needs to take responsibility. You have to understand that young people are the future. They cannot grow up with these insecurities. The bullies are insecure, and the people who are being bullied are made insecure by the bullying. every single person needs to take responsibility.
We have had some very interesting issues and some diverse issues on the panel today. We have had attempted suicides. We have had beatings and self-harming. If we want to put a stop to this, we have to end bullying with the solutions that were offered today. Thank you for watching Talk Up Youth, and we'll now take it over to Stepper.
Hear me now, man. Them bully me, them bully she. Everybody, them bully me, them bully she. Everybody, them bully me, them bully she. Everybody, them bully me and she and everybody. As me push, you pull me. Please, me I beg you, stop pace me. From a little and I grow, everybody just come tease me. I can't take it no more. Stop tease me. Me gonna start sting because them a bees me. From a classmate to my teacher, from my auntie to the preacher, from my sister to my brother, them bully me, them bully she. Everybody, them bully me, them bully she. Everybody, me, them bully she. Even Stanley, them bully me, she. Everybody, go over there, so, and shut your mouth about your out. My self-esteem low. That's why me trying to take you for papi show. My family used to kill me with beer lick. So don't sit and go on a self-hate trip. Them bully me, them bully she. Everybody, me, them bully she. Even Stanley, them bully me, she. Everybody, listen to Stepper.
Talk of youth, Miss Stepper, talk of youth.
We have to build the youth stand.
Talk of youth in Jamaica.